Hi, I'm James Martin with Threshold Corporation. I'm here today to give you a little glimpse of our technology and products. This is our home controller, which is a router, firewall, wireless access point, and applications controller. Now, there's a lot of words, but what that really means is that this sits connected to your broadband, and we manage a lot of things about your network at home. And one of the things about networks that make them kind of hard to set up is when you talk about wireless, which everybody likes because they don't have to string cable, if your network at home is running with encryption, which is it should be, so your neighbors and passerbys can't hack into your network. The same has the back end of that is that you bring home a new device, it can't automatically join your network until, of course, it has those secret codes or encryption keys. And that represents a dilemma when you start talking about devices such as these that don't have a user interface. The most conventional way that it's being done now, this is a manual from a competing product. It's a wireless 802.11 wireless camera. And the way that you set this up is you take the camera, you plug it in power, you take an Ethernet cable and hook that Ethernet cable into the back of a PC that has a spare port, load a CD-ROM into that PC, and then go through this setup guide. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It takes actually an hour or two to do, maybe 30 minutes if you're a super expert. But we'll go to step J. Enter your wireless network's SSID or network name. If you chose ad hoc mode, select the channel at which the network broadcasts its wireless signal, then click Next. Step K, the security settings screen will appear. If your network has web encryption enabled, then select the level of web encryption and enter a passphrase. If you do not have a passphrase and want to manually enter a web key, leave the passphrase field blank. Well, that's really not the kind of setup that the average consumer wants to go through. Even I don't want to go through this, and I kind of know what some of this stuff is. So in our company, we have really gone after the objective of how do we make networking at home, particularly when it starts applying to things like security and surveillance and home automation, really simple, easy, and fast, and yet not limit you in any way to how sophisticated your system can become. So here's our wireless camera. It's a very high performance, infrared, night vision capable color audio video camera. And you want to add this to your system at home, which is running a wireless encrypted network. The setup procedure is actually quite easy. You say setup, add device. We ask you if it's using our config spot technology. You say yes, and you see this light shows up and it's asking to hold the two spots together, and which we do, and they actually communicate with each other. The camera is telling the controller what kind of camera it is and what its capabilities are, and the controller loads back into here all that stuff, SSID, web keys, frequencies, things like that. Here on the screen it's telling me that it found the camera, and it telling me I can change the name anytime in the future through the browser interface. Also, I could change the name here on the front panel. I could call it front door, back door, whatever, but we'll just leave it the default name as camera 3. And that's it, it's done. Now you can go plug it into and attach it to the wall wherever it is you want to use it. And you notice that I didn't have the camera powered up at the time we were doing the configuration. This is a completely passive interface. So any of our devices or anybody's devices that are using the config spot technology, they don't actually have to be powered up in order to run the configuration. This is one of many devices that we have. We have camera, we have a power control module. This can switch up to 2,000 watts of power. You can plug in a refrigerator, heater, air conditioner, home entertainment system, whatever it is you want to either control, or this has a second duty in that it measures power. We actually measure quite precisely the energy flowing through here and can tell you the power consumption in real dollars of what's been plugged into it over a week, a month, a year, whatever time frame you're interested in. I also have motion detectors. This is a door window and window breakage detector, temperature humidity module. Also have a camera or a clock radio terminal that can look at cameras and other devices in the network, and it lets you generally interact with the system that can sit by your bed or in your garage, and a host of other devices coming out to fulfill pretty much the complete home automation, surveillance, security, energy management within a home.